Welcome back to Startup Street. EV energy tech company Kazam has raised $6.2 million in Series B funding from the International Finance Corporation and existing investors Vertex Ventures C and India and Avaana Capital Advisors. The investment will fuel Kazam's expansion across markets with its energy transition tools to accelerate adoption of sustainable mobility. To elaborate on these plans, joining us now is Akshay Shekhar, the co-founder and CEO of Kazam. Also with me is my colleague Arundhati. Welcome to Startup Street. With $6.2 million raised in your Series B round, tell us what are Kazam's immediate priorities for deployment of this capital? Is it market expansion, R&D, partnerships, or something else?
Thanks for having me. First of all, I think it's always a pleasure to be here. So Kazam, in this particular round is to get EV inclusion within the country. Just for the viewers, maybe to understand what Kazam is the energy gateway, which kind of digitizes everything right from your energy meter all the way to your electric vehicle getting charged with the charging station right in between. So for this particular fundraise, it's more about getting into the real Bharat, which is the tier 2 and tier 3 markets, to ensure that the last person over there is also able to adopt to EV very well. And it is to fuel all of these last cities.
Sure. Hi, Akshay. Arundhati stepping in here quick. Kazam's revenue has grown 4x in a year, right? That's from $1.5 million to $6 million. And you're sort of targeting $12 million this year. So what's driving this growth? And how are you managing scalability with profitability?
Yeah, I think it's been a crazy year for us, and I think it's just getting crazier over here. But what we're also seeing is a lot of adoption in the EV market, especially in the three-wheeler markets. You're also seeing a lot of incumbents enter in this place. What we are also able to see in the market right now is the tier 2 and the tier 3 markets have clearly created an arbitrage because they never were included in the CNG market in the earlier places. So what they have done is they've actually moved right from the petrol era to EVs. Where electricity is already distributed, right, in all of these places. So we are focusing on this EV inclusion side. And, one of my biggest markets would be places like Siliguri, Cooch Behar, Lucknow, all of these places. And we want to kind of double down right now and go even deeper into the market to kind of ensure that. Yes, so we have already contracted most of this. As of now, when we speak, we are already at a run rate of $9 to $10 million. There. So $12 million seems, in our kitty at this point of time.
All right. Kazam has also onboarded over 68,000 chargers, enabled 5 million plus charging sessions. And just last month, the platform powered 25 million electric kilometers across 10 countries. Akshay, how do you approach interoperability and regulation in these diverse EV markets?
I think this is a wonderful question. As we scale, right, any new technology, it first goes through this entire phase of being proprietary. But I think the government itself has realized, and we have been one of the pioneers to kind of contribute in writing a lot of BIS standards within the country. I think the first standard was around interoperability, which came for 2 and 3 wheelers, because that was our first focus area. And here we've also been able to push for the fast charging. So the standard is IS 17017, Part 25 and Part 31. This allows now players to adopt to two guns separately, and the industry is now kind of come together in choosing these two guns. So this will allow a lot of interoperability from a vehicle charging point of view. The second point is, you also need to kind of connect on the software side of things so that the data that is coming from these electric vehicles are also being able to decode and ensure that you're able to push further EVs into the market. And for that, there is a completely entire new stack called as the Unified Energy Interface that we're currently building, and we're kind of the founding members over there. This is more like the UPI movement, but for energy, because there were no digital goods within the energy ecosystem, and EV charging is the first energy digital good that is coming into the market. This will actually allow the utility companies to kind of understand how the consumption of electricity is happening, where it is happening, who is doing it, at what time, etc. And this
Absolutely.
will open up the real interoperability in the energy world. So this is the first step to it.
We're running out of time. If you could quickly tell us, you're building this digital infrastructure for EVs. What's your broader vision? Could Kazam become the AWS or UPI equivalent for global energy mobility?
I think the first thing it will be is the UPI for the country, because we're building this entire UEI stack. So what we will do is we'll go one step behind your charge point from where you're getting electricity, and we'll actually be able to reduce the cost completely for you. So if your electricity cost today is 1,000 rupees, we would be significantly able to reduce this by 20-30% by allowing you to even do peer-to-peer energy trading. Our first transactions for this has already gone live, and one of the key R&D focus areas for us in this particular year is to do this. So I think that's what we are currently focused on.
All right, on that note, it's time for me to wrap up this conversation. Akshay, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today, and wish you the very best for all your aggressive growth plans.
Thank you so much.
And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Startup Street.